Hey there, welcome along to episode 3 of the TA Hack vinyl videos that I've sent you. This is the very last video, and today what we're going to do is we're going to talk through the campaign that we put together that you can see in the whiteboard. We were hiring automotive engineers in a very super niche area. Roughly maximum only 500 of these people in the UK. This is an evergreen hiring requirement that this company has. So we're putting a real effort into creating this campaign for them. I've asked Adam from Candidate ID to come along today to have a chat through how we use a really cool piece of technology to start to score the engagement levels within this campaign so that your talent acquisition team can actually focus on the people that are ready to be hired, so that you're putting more effort into that engagement piece, so that whenever you're hiring people, they are ready to get going quicker and they come into your business in the best way possible. So Adam, take over from here.
So if you think about it in terms of a funnel, we've got the kind of top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, and the bottom of the funnel. The bottom of the funnel meaning they're ready to work for you right now. One of the big things that organizations really miss is content and affection for those people that are top of the funnel, and that's 80% of candidates according to LinkedIn. And in that highly competitive automotive engineering space, for example, it's going to be a really small number of people that are hire ready right now. So how do you keep the 80% or more who are not interested in talking to you? How do you keep them warm? You distribute content which is going to help them get ahead in their career. That's the number one thing. If you make sure that any content you're sharing with those people is going to help them to be better at their job, they're going to open your emails, they're going to click on the links at your social media, they're going to look at your landing pages, they're going to look at your career site, even when they're not looking for careers. So taking this campaign as an example, let's talk about how we might go about scoring it. If candidates are interacting with your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, maybe careers pages, that's maybe reasonably shallow kind of content. It might be how to help them get ahead in their career. Any click on your LinkedIn, company LinkedIn page, or your company Twitter or company Facebook page, I'd score that a 1. If they then come and look at your job advert, however, that's a really rich sign that they're probably ready for a conversation. Even if they don't apply, your recruiters want to know that they've looked at that job description, because if they start a conversation, then that person's quite likely to respond or quite likely to return their phone call. So we're going to give that quite a high score. That's a 10. Let's say they then come onto the careers site. They look at the pages which are maybe, what's it like to work at that company? That's fine. It's kind of mid-level sort of education. We'll score those a 3. But then they come and look at your employer value proposition, which is actually what is the differentiator? Why would I really want to work here? That's probably a pretty good sign that they're becoming interested. So I would score that a bit higher. I'd score that a 5. So we're going to skip the ATS bit because they haven't technically applied at this stage in terms of the ongoing nurturing. We'll talk through the kind of campaign, the more in detail kind of campaigns that you would nurture the candidates with. So let's say they've clicked on your email and it's how to be a better automotive engineer. Great, they're going to get maybe 3 points for that because you know that they're talent focused, and I'd describe that as kind of middle of the funnel. Okay, but then they start looking at if they look at the team story or the employee story, again, I give that decent points because they're really warming up. If they look at the video job description, which incidentally I think is a brilliant thing to do, that's high. That's a really positive sign that that candidate's starting to warm up. I'd score that a 10. This is all pre-application stage. This kind of information on who's where within your funnel is like gold dust for recruiters. We understand that it's going to help you to cut your shortlist by approximately cut your time to shortlist by approximately 50%. Something else that I think is really, really important to consider is, we're hearing it more and more, almost every day. I hear a talent acquisition leader saying, we're investing in advertising, our team is direct sourcing, we're possibly using recruitment agencies. And the shortlists that are getting created are made up of people who are already in our applicant tracking system. If you can understand where people are in the applicant tracking system, where they are in terms of their decisions and how warm they are to work for you right now, it means that you're recycling all of that information that you've already got. Your database, your ATS, is very probably a better database than LinkedIn or other sites that you have. But unless you can really understand where people are in the pipeline, then it's a very, very limited value. So this is one of the reasons why Candidate ID is a particularly practical and kind of game-changing tool, because it allows you to really recycle all that information so that you have to do less advertising, so you have to spend less time direct sourcing people who are not ready for a conversation, and various other benefits that we've already been through. I hope this kind of scoring sort of theory has been useful. The two key things to consider are, number one, are they looking at kind of surface level content, or are they looking at really, really rich content like job descriptions or the hiring manager's profile on LinkedIn? And then the second thing is, are they opening an email, which is an easy to do thing and scores low points, or are they watching your video, which is a higher commitment activity and scores high points? Think about it in that context, and you're going to create some really big wins for yourself.
So it was a great session from Adam on how we score the engagement of all of our candidates, either throughout the recruitment process or over a period of time, so that we can actually tell who is the most engaged person whenever we're either hiring people or whenever we're going out to the market to approach people about opportunities. And what we're going to do now is we're going to invite you to the webinar, and that webinar is going to give you lots and lots of information around the types of content that you can use to attract people, the top of the funnel content to attract people in, the middle of the funnel content that will help people really consider you as an employer of choice, and then the stuff that we can do to convert those people from that considering the opportunities to actually acting upon applying to and accepting jobs with yourself. This will really help you transform yourself into a talent acquisition function that will be attracting and hiring the best talent out there. But more than anything, you'll know exactly what you're doing and exactly what you should be doing to attract the people that you need. So you'll get the invite to the webinar, watch out for that, register to attend. We'll look forward to having you along, and in the meantime you'll receive an email from me with some information about the TA hack tool that we've been using. Okay, cheers, look forward to seeing you in the webinar.